Hey, restaurant pros. Bookkeeping can be a nightmare sometimes. Where do you find the time to do your books? And what about the fact that you don't have an accounting degree? Many restaurant owners fall into the trap of trying to do everything themselves to include bookkeeping and payroll. But what if I told you, while you might be saving hundreds of dollars each month in paying for those services, that you're probably losing thousands of dollars each month in operating expenses? I'm going to share what I mean in just a moment. I'm David Scott Peters, restaurant expert coach and creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. I've been coaching restaurant owners since 2003, and I'm really glad you're here to learn. Today, I want to talk about why doing your own books and payroll is probably not saving you money, but actually costing you thousands. But before I go into that, if you like tips and tricks like this, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, that bell so you're notified when my next video tip comes out. And for more tips and tricks for running a profitable restaurant, make sure you tune into my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, found on all the popular podcasting services. Okay, let's talk about a trap many independent restaurant owners fall into. In an attempt to save money, they end up wasting time, energy, and money. Here's an example of what I mean. We're talking about doing your own books and doing your own payroll. Well, why do I want to do those things myself? What would a restaurant owner start to think about and say, I want to do it myself? Well, probably to save money, because restaurant accounting, it can range from $500 a month to $3,000 a month. I've seen ridiculous amounts. Now, a good restaurant accountant should be about $650 to $850 a month for each one of your restaurants. And truly, if they do all the services right, they're going to do your bill pay, they're going to take care of your invoices, they're going to make sure that your books are tied out every single month, they're going to be managing your cash, they're going to give you P&Ls on a monthly basis, they should be reviewing your numbers with you, possibly monthly, if not quarterly, and helping you with your taxes. Lots and lots of good things come from a good restaurant accountant. But I will say all accountants are not created equal. So be sure to do your due diligence. You also sit there and say, I'm going to save money because I'm going to do my own payroll. Well, are you keeping up with all the payroll regulations? Are you using a QuickBooks or some other software program and hoping that they're going to sweep your taxes for you, that they're going to make sure everybody got paid, that rate changes didn't happen, that there's not a data entry error? All those things that go into it? Are they going to keep track of when somebody hit their FICA SUI limit to stop taking that from the paycheck? Right? Are you going to do that on your own, or is that a payroll company? Now, I get it. Payroll companies can range from say $250 to $500 each pay period. So if you're paying weekly, if you're paying semi-monthly, bi-monthly, right? Depending on how often you pay and how many employees you have, it could be considerable savings. Well, another reason why you do your own numbers is you get your numbers faster. So many restaurant owners are working with bad bookkeepers or bad accountants. And they don't see their numbers for not 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I've seen a year when the only time you get your books is at the year end to do your taxes. And it's too freaking late. So once you've had one or two bad bookkeepers or experiences, even if with a good accountant that just didn't treat you the way you needed to be right at the beginning, we get gun shy and go, well, if you want something done right, you might as well do it yourself. Now, often, because of those experiences, restaurant owners feel like to take control of their restaurants, they have to take control of their books. But you don't have an accounting degree. You're probably messing your books up. And even if you do have an accounting degree, because I do have members who actually are accountants that go into the restaurant business, you're wasting your time. Yes, you know how to do all this stuff, but you're not spending your time in your restaurant wisely. So here's my recommendation. One, I want to make sure you hire a bookkeeper, an accountant. They're really kind of the same thing on that intro level. Somebody that's going to gather all of your information on a weekly basis, daily basis. Make sure your bills are paid. Make sure your books are tied out. Make sure that they're advising you, and when they see things that are looking wrong in your books, that you can make changes. Helping you have the right chart of accounts, that your books are a report card that you can look at and understand every number in it, that you can make good decisions to move your business forward. Number two, I tell you to hire a payroll company. One of the major reasons why I'm going to do that is not only to track the FICA SUI limits and all these other things, the laws that go along with it, but the biggest thing is if I set it up properly with them, they're only going to sweep my account for taxes. I'm going to control my money still in my account or a payroll account. Then when I've got those servers that don't cash your checks or cooks that sit on them, like it's sitting in the bank ready to go. It's not in some payroll company's, bank account where they're playing with my money. They're making money on it. But the biggest thing is they take on the liability that if they file improper taxes for us, they didn't take the right amount, they filed wrong, the IRS screwed up, whatever it may be. They'll get in between and they'll ensure they fix it. So now I don't have liability that if they make a mistake with my payroll when it comes to taxes. That's huge all by itself. And number three, I'd tell you to meet with your CPA on a quarterly basis. Yeah, we're going to have a bookkeeper and accountant do our books on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. But on a quarterly basis, I should have a professional, whether it's in the same office or a different office, I don't care. But your CPA should be advising you to look at your numbers, see what your quarterly taxes should be, what decisions you might make in order to reduce your tax liability to make life easier for you. A good CPA should more than pay for themselves. It doesn't matter if they're charging you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000. They should be exceeding that when it comes to your taxes and looking at your business on a quarterly basis. They're an advisor. By doing those things, it's going to allow you to work on budgets. As a restaurant owner, you have to create your plan for success, what you're going to do. Now, the beautiful part about great accounting is we can put our budget next to our accounting for each month and find out where we hit or missed. And we can decide what new systems we're going to put in place, what systems we have to get back on to change our reality, to change the budget, to change our plan. I cannot do that if I don't have good books on a timely manner. So by budgeting, knowing I'm going to get those numbers, it's simple data entry and I can proactively manage my business. It's going to allow you to think strategically. When somebody else is taking all these simple things off your plate, I get it. It's simple to do my own bookkeeping. I'm already in QuickBooks every day. Why shouldn't I just do it myself? Think of the hours that you spend on that. And often we wait to the very last minute to get it done when I need to look at stuff and you fell behind 3 days, 4 days, 3 weeks. And you're playing catch up and the elephant weight on your chest thinking, I got to get caught up. That stress is horrible. Instead, it's getting done and you start thinking strategically about your business. What's the next thing I need to do? How do I grow my company? How do I make sure I'm moving forward? What's the next crisis coming to me and how do I go around that crisis without blowing my world up? You need the time to look at your business and think strategically. You need the time to develop, manage, and hold your managers accountable. Your job is to lead the team. Make sure they know what you want done, how you want it done, how well you want it done, by when. Your job is to sit next to them to make sure they ensure they understand your process, your system, your way is what's being executed, and that they can do it on their own. You need to manage all those new priorities and tasks, from manager meetings to lists of tasks you want them to get done to projects. You just don't give it to them and it gets done. You have to take an active role. And then ultimately you have to hold them accountable. When they know what their job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, more importantly, by when, you can change that to answerable because they know what their job is. They decide to do their job or not, and they're answerable for the resulting consequences. And last but not least, you can have peace of mind that things are getting done. Your numbers are getting done. Your managers are getting things done. You're leading your team. See, by giving up accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, it gives you the time to focus on your business. That includes your budgets. That includes your marketing. That includes your managers. That includes your customers. It includes everything about your business. See, by giving up that bookkeeping, by giving up that payroll, you may cost yourself hundreds of dollars each month. But by leading your team, by becoming the restaurant your leader needs, by working on budgets, putting the systems in place, leading your business forward, you're literally going to be connected to your business. And you're going to save hundreds of thousands of dollars a year because you're executing your plan, ensuring it changes to make sure you make the money you deserve and have managers in place to run the business as if you were there, especially when you're not. So instead of doing the work, outsource the task, but use those numbers to lead your business forward. If you're tired of not being able to leave your restaurant because no one else knows how to run it, I want to make sure you know it doesn't have to be that way. You can leave your restaurant. It is possible to build a team of people who know how you want the restaurant to run with trained and responsible people in place. You can give yourself time away. What would you do if you had time away from your restaurant? Would you sleep better? Would your relationships improve? Would you feel more relaxed? These are all things you deserve to experience as a business owner. It's why we own our own businesses. If you would like to learn how to own a restaurant that doesn't depend on you to be successful, click the link in the description to watch a free video to learn exactly what you have to do. Also, be sure to subscribe to get my weekly tips and watch these 2 videos to get more information and guidance for running a successful restaurant.